Secret Quest gemacht haben.
さあ、こちらへ。あまり他の方々には見られたくありませんから。
はあ。
失礼します。
Afterward, Lloyd and the others were shown to Rios' room. They then outlined what they knew about the Blue Flower and recounted the conversation they had with Archbishop Iralda.
なるほど。確かにこれは大司教ならば口を閉ざすのも無理ありませんね。
わかるのかよ、リスちゃん。
ええ。皆さんが採取された花、確かにとある聖典に記されている花である可能性は高そうです。と言っても正式な聖典ではなく、いわゆる下典にあたりますが。
下典、つまり正式なものとは認められていない遺書ってことだね。
ええ。教会内でも限られたものしか閲覧は許されていません。ですが騎士団に所属する者はそうした下典の閲覧を許されています。
Then how come Wazy knew about this?
危険なアーティファクトの存在が記されているものが
He
多いから
did
です。
say, like, he thought about it wasn't a book, but...
なるほど。
ではその青い花は一体どのように記されて。下典の一つラダー記に青き花についての描写があります。七葉脈の真上に咲く吉兆とも強調とも取れる神秘の花、その名もプレロマソウの木。その名前はそれって確か
教団の端末に残されてたっていうグノーシスの原料になった植物の名前かい？
はい。
まさかこんな場所でその名前を聞くとはな。
なるほど、そうでしたか。かの教団の残した謎については教会でもほとんど解明されていません。エラルダ大司教の意向もあり、ヨアヒム・ギュンターが起こした事件もほとんど調査されませんでしたが。
ちょっと待ってください。その花が本当に例のグノーシスという薬物の原料だったとして、それが各地で発見されたことが何を意味してるんでしょう。
そうね、厳重の出現も気になるし。七葉脈の真上に咲く花、しかも吉兆とも強調とも取れる花ですか。
ああ、どうも嫌な符号だぜ。
とにかく俺たちだけで対処できる問題でもなさそうだ。一旦支援課に戻って詳細な報告書をまとめてみよう。リースさん、教えていただいた情報は警備隊やギルドに伝えても。
そうですね、なるべく私の名前を出さないでいただけるのであれば。
大司教にとったらスパイみたいな立場だろうからね。
もちろんそのあたりは極力配慮させていただきます。ならば問題ありません。私の方も騎士団に連絡してから調査に入ってみるつもりです。お互い何か進展があったら情報交換するのはいかがですか？
ええ、喜んで。
よろしくお願いします。
Mine and the others then returned to the SSS building. They quickly put together a report and encrypted some pleroma graphs, taking care to include every detail. The report was then sent to the CGF and Bracer Guild via the Orbital network. After enjoying a light dinner with the chief and Kier, they succumbed to the exhaustion of the day and went back to their rooms for a good night's sleep.
こりゃいい。こいつは最高だ。これなら絶対に奴を。ああ、あんたか。ああ、問題ねえ。いつでも行ける。ただしやり方は俺に任せてもらうぜ。
What?
なるほどな。例の薬の原料になった花か。そうなると警察にとっても人事じゃなくなってきたな。
ええ、引き続きギルドと協力して調査しようと思うんですが。
他に 気になる案件は何か入っていませんか？
入ってると言えば入ってるが、他の課に任せておけ。どのみち国家独立の住民投票である程度の混乱は避けられねえだろう。今は不安要素の洗い出しの方が先決なはずだ。
確かにそうですね。
いわゆる危機管理ってやつだね。
しかしそうなると今日の方針はどうしましょう。拳銃の調査も私たちの担当は昨日のうちに終えてしまいましたし。
ギルドの遊撃士どもを手伝うってのもありかもしれねえな。
どうしたの？
気になることでもあるのかい？
いや、思ったんだけど一度ローゼンベルク工房を訪ねてみないか。
結社に関係があるっていう。
そうか、すっかり忘れてたな。
もちろん捜査令状がない以上だが、あの老人は前にこんな風にも言っていた。
だが今は特に話すことがあるわけでもあるまい。何か要件ができたら改めて訪ねてくるがいい。蓮に免じて話くらいは聞こう。
訪ねてみる価値はあるかもしれませんね。危険が伴うかもしれませんが。
確かにあの奇妙な少年の目的くらいは掴んでおきたいね。もしかしたらあの工房に滞在してるのかもしれないし。
賛成です。ただでさえ危険な外国勢力が台頭しているこの状況、これ以上怪しげな勢力を放置するわけにはいきません。
そうね、まずは工房を直接
ああ、様子を見てみよう。場合によっては捜査令状を手配する必要があるかもしれない。
だな。よし、そんじゃあとっとと出かけるとすっか。
ねえねえ、みんなもうお仕事に出かけるの？
ああ、そのつもりだけど、キーヨは今日は図書館に行くんだったか。
雫のために展示の本を探そうかなってお買い物して帰るけど、晩ご飯食べたいものある？
お買い物って、キーヤちゃん大丈夫なの？確かに料理は何度も作ってもらっていますが。
モモのお父さんとかオスカーからいつも買ってるし、デパートの食品コーナーのおばちゃんとも仲いいよ。
いつの間に。
希望なら納得だぜ。
そうなるとちょいと涼しくなってきたし、鍋物なんかいいかもしれねえな。
いいですね。みんなで盛り上がれそうですし。
鍋っていうことはやっぱり東方風なのかな？
キーヤちゃん大丈夫？
なんとかなると思う。お出汁をちゃんと取りたいから東通りの露店街にも寄らないと。
お、本格的じゃねえか。
帰ってきた時のお楽しみができましたね。
ありがとうキーヤ。今日はなるべく遅くならないように帰ってくるよ。
Yes. Package Pandemonium. Oh, das ist das letzte Ding. Package Pandemonium ist, wo wir das Ding bekommen.
いくつか新しいのも来ているね。
どうする？先に人形工房に行ってから片付けても良さそうだが。
いや、聞き込み次第ではどうなるかもわからない。急ぎの支援要請なんかは先に片付けておいた方がいいな。
そうですね。強制捜査の必要があるかもしれませんし。
じゃあ準備ができたら参道の人形工房に行きましょう。テーマパークのアルバイトは無性に心惹かれますね。
Wenn ich die anderen Quest abgegeben.
皆さん、それでは
No, yeah.
さすが皆さん。はい、ランクアップですね。おめでとうございます。特典のお疲れ様。
Copy. Ich glaube, ich wollte dir den Crimson Eater geben. Auch schon wieder. So, was macht eigentlich Crimson Vision? Dragon Vision. Oh ja. Hatte ich das nicht schon? Yeah. Ach. Egal. So. Fuck. Oh, it's just you guys. You escaped me. I thought you were home for a second. Rio, this is part of the SS building. You can't just slip in like you own the place. Come on, Lloyd. Chang is caring. Now do your power your assault and keep quiet about where I'm hiding, okay? Don't be a narc. Okay. Central Square. Natürlich sein, dass wir die auch erst im Ding kaufen können. Im letzten Kapitel. So, genau. Buch. Buch. Buch, Buch. Belgrad. West. Yes! On the roof. Where Daigo is. Daigo's on the roof. I love it. Just book 3 of my breaks. You try quite busy, but you would too. Thank you. Das war Sunshine Agnes für diesen Tag. So, Rezepte. Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Day 1, Chapter 4. Okay. Rezepte haben auch alle. Which means Secret Quest. Which means Mines Mountain Path. Mines war in English. Okay. Und dann zuerst Package Pandemonium, damit ich das Ding bekomme. Mr. Nielsen? Is that you, Lloyd? Yes, hello again. I'm glad you remember me. I never forget the voice of those I've had the pleasure of interviewing. Is this man? Yeah, he's that famous journal I met a little while back. That's right, Marcel Nielsen. What brings you to Mainz, if I may ask? I have an interview scheduled with Mayor Bixton as it so happens. I'll be asking for his account of Mainz's origins as a Rezepte mining village, as well as how it's changed in the modern day. With the topic of independence looming over Crossbar, I thought it pertinent to reflect on the state's history. Not a bad idea. That's a very insightful perspective to have, for lack of a better phrase. I consider it a compliment. My circumstances do give me a penchant for taking things a long way around. But enough about me. I heard you all contributed to stopping the terrorist attack at the trade conference. With that in mind, I have the urge to interview you about the matter. Would you mind terribly? You see, there are several lingering questions I have regarding the motivations behind the attack. I suspect speaking with you will help me uncover the meaning of it all. The meaning behind the terrorist attack? It may be difficult to divulge. Theo's right, information about the case is restricted to members of the state government and police force. Even if we do take your question, we're pretty limited in what we can disclose. That's understandable and well from my expectations. Nevertheless, I believe there's still merit to be had in discussing the matter. What do you say? Our last interview with him was definitely insightful. Participation in the second one could be a good idea if you have the time. Genau, diese Quest gibt's nur, wenn du den Inside Scoop Cold Incidents gemacht hast. Alright, we'll agree to your interview. Splendid, thank you for your time. Let's begin it right away. Thank you all again for agreeing to this interview. Our topic of discussion is the recent terrorist attack that occurred at the West Bermuda Trade Conference. To begin, I would like to confirm the identity of the perpetrators involved. Could you do it for me, Lloyd? Both. Two terrorist cells from within a major power were working in conjunction with one another. One with the Imperial Liberation Front from Erebania, the other was comprised of members of Chaos anti-immigration faction. That's right, those were indeed the parties responsible. I refrain from delving into the backgrounds and founding principles. However, it is worth noting that the two groups have no history of collaboration, and yet they mounted a unified front against the conference. I am given to understand that they were abetted by a so-called society that had also been operating in Liberal. Yeah, the Society of Ouroboros. Thinking back, the terrorists were making use of anarchism at the trade conference. Do you know of the society, Mr. Nielsen? I've come across the name before, yes, they're a bit of an enigma to be certain. I take your work has led to your learning of them as well. Well, if we believe the rumors, you are an enforcer. Angua's number one. We've had a thing or two, and the more we heard, the shadier they seem to be. At any rate, we can say definitely that the true aims are completely shrouded in mystery. Trying to reduce the objective at this stage would be entirely in vain. I'm inclined to agree with that. Let us move on to the next topic then. I would like to review the intentions and perspective of the two major powers in regard to the attack. My sources tell me that each nation employed outside forces in secret. Both these forces contributed greatly to the resolution of the incident. What I find peculiar is that although the Empire and Republic foresaw the attack, they elected not to prevent it, leading both terror groups at large. I have to wonder why is that? What do you suppose they were trying to achieve, Lloyd? Contain opposing political faction. Each terrorist group was backed by a political faction stance that also with its respective country's leader. I think the top priority was to keep those two opposing factions in check. In Chancellor Osborne's case, he was looking to put pressure on Ereboni's noble faction. As for President Rockcliffe, he was looking to deter anyone who agrees with Calva's radical nationalists. I agree that is the only logical explanation for why they allowed the terrorists to remain at large. As a result, the public tide has turned in their favor. Citizens from either country are raising their voice against the aforementioned factions. Political leverage, then, was the end goal. On a separate note, Lloyd, you identified this as their top priority, did you not? I found it curious. Do you mean to imply that they had another objective in mind as well? Well, Lloyd. Yeah, I can imagine one other objective. I also think it was to gain a foothold for the advancement in crossbow. Oh? Crossbow is their crosshair, so to speak. That much was clear as day when both leaders offered to station their troops and crossbow at the conference. Yes, and the terror attack fueled the narrative that crossbow cannot keep its border safe by itself. Only places further pressure on the state to accept the proposals. A non-aggression pact that Libel introduced has essentially lost all power as deterrent at this point. Moreover, crossbow's independence proposal has placed its square in the public eye of both the Empire and the Republic, thereby redirecting the attention of either country's citizens away from the domestic conflicts and discontent. So even that was by design. Third of two birds with one stone, but this is more like downing a flock with a boulder. Well, I see if Allah considered this just as much detail as I have. If you don't mind, I would like to move us into our final topic. As it is apparent that the two countries had a mutual understanding as far as the attack was concerned, do you believe this to be evidence of great alliance between them? Out of the question. And I think that's out of the question. Ultimately, they both have the same objective, the sole possession of crossbow. Yes, that's exactly right. In the end, the incident at the conference was no more than a one-time incident of them acting in lockstep. Furthermore, crossbow is simply too valuable for either country to let it remain as a simple buffer zone. There's no room for allyship if each aspires to take it for himself. The parallel their actions tip their hands off to their conflictive motivation. Well, for a blind man, your aim is impressive. It was just all warm up before the real thing. Eventually, they're going to go at each other, guns are blazing. Yes, I imagine the war of intelligence they're waging will only worsen from here. The increasing activity from the Jägers and Criminal Syndicate and Crossback can likely be contributed to that as well. Unfortunate as this, I would not be surprised to see a resurgence of inexplicable incidents such as those from Crossbow's past. Inexplicable incidents. What do you mean? No, never mind that. Forgive me for speaking out of turn. Let us say I believe you sought out a number of mails regarding the terror attack. Asking for this interview was a wise decision indeed. Thank you for your time. Likewise, this was very enlightening. I think I understand the current situation more clearly now. It was almost more informative than I was prepared to handle. I'm glad to hear you found it beneficial. It would be wonderful if we could chat like this again sometimes, future circumstances permitting. Of course, we'll be more than happy to. Genau. Scheiß Haare. So. So, das hat extra Punkte, das hat extra Punkte. Das hat keine extra Punkte, genauso wie Package Pandemonium. Das heißt, wir werden jetzt erstmal Monster Extermination machen.